Hello and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Outside the Fire with Crazy J. I'm, of course, Crazy J, and I have a wonderful guest with me today. You might be wondering, why am I wearing a gas mask? Well, it's because of this individual's unique style and collection of gas masks that he has as well. This man is awesome. He's what I would consider an up and coming in the chili community, even though he probably has a great background, which we'll find out about today. So, of course, I thank you all for joining me. Please help me welcome Sonny the Beast Spicer.
Hello, guys.
Awesome. All right. Hey, brother, how are you today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I am awesome. So I'm glad we made this work out. We've been kind of behind the scenes trying to make this work for a little while now. But here we are. We're outside the fire. This is how we get to know you behind the scenes and not just on the camera, maybe doing challenges. Get to know you a little better, maybe at a personal level, as personal as you're willing to share, so to speak.
Yeah.
This is a very, I won't say informal meeting or interview. We just keep the conversation casual as we ask questions. Some of them may be random, some of them may be whatever, but you're obviously willing to talk. Let's go ahead and get into it. So what I like to start off with, because I ask everybody, is whatever information you're willing to give about you, maybe where you're from, and then how you got into the spicy level or whatever, or how you got into eating spicy foods, and then we'll grow from those responses.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm from the North Michigan, of course. Well, not of course, people don't know that, but yeah. I'm up here in the cold part, and I just randomly just started getting into spicy stuff. I didn't initially like anything spicy, but then I got a little scratch. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try something spicy because I seen Hot Ones and seeing how big Hot Ones was getting, and I loved it. I loved the platform. I loved what they were doing. And then I seen Da Bomb, and there was a local hot sauce store about an hour away that had some of that Da Bomb. Tried some of it, melted my face, and then I had to buy a bottle, and then that's kind of where the love of it started. And I didn't have no fresh pods till like 2 or 3 years after.
Awesome. So where I find that is different from pretty much everybody else I've interviewed in this level. So
really,
because everybody else said that they enjoyed spice their whole life and they just wanted to see how far they could push it. So it's really interesting to actually find someone who hasn't always been into it, but found a love for it. So that's awesome. That gives me a new line of getting into how you got into it.
Yeah.
So speaking of which, you said one time you just tried. What was that item that you said, Da Bomb?
Yeah.
Right? So that was the first real thing that really pushed you over the edge and gave you that
Da Bomb.
Okay. And so they have a variety of different types of sauces under Da Bomb label. They have like Evolution and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So what was your initial response to that? Like when you took it, you're like, oh gosh, how was that experience for you?
So kicking it off from when I had tried spicy stuff and not really liking it, and then trying the hot sauce. When I tried the hot sauce, I read the bottle and was like, okay, this can't be that bad. Took a spoonful, and my face just started getting super hot. My mouth was on fire, and I'm over here freaking out. And they had peanut butter around, which was convenient.
Yes.
Super convenient. Yes. So I just started shoveling peanut butter in my mouth. And then I didn't get any cramps because I didn't really know about any of that at the time, but I didn't like the taste.
You did not like the taste.
Did not like the taste because at that time, before I knew, it was that metal, like that metal metallic taste.
Mm-hmm.
And then come to figure out there probably was extract in that hot sauce.
Yeah, most likely.
And I was like, I did not like the taste. And I had that same hot sauce for 2 years.
Yes. So let me ask you a question then. When you experienced that, did it give you like a after you kind of got through the adrenaline, so to speak, of the heat, it kind of gave you that I want to do more feeling, right?
Yeah, it was like as the Reaper teacher calls it, being a masochist. I
Yes.
think that was my beginning of being a masochist.
Right.
Because it was kind of hard to describe what the feeling was at that time because I was worried about, am I gonna die? Like
Sure.
I knew I wasn't gonna die because I had seen other people eat spicy stuff around me.
Yeah.
And then I tried that and I didn't die. And then I kept eating it more and more. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is actually good. And then I just started seeing all this other stuff as I opened up my eyes to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just fell into the world of hot sauce. And now I'm just overwhelmed.
Yes. And there is so much out there.
Oh
I'd say the COVID years were the best thing that happened to small batch sauce companies.
100%.
Because they were able to put time to their craft, perfect maybe a specific sauce or sauces, and get them out. And some people are now starting businesses over what started out as a hobby and getting their stuff out. And I think that's fantastic. So then you decided to start pushing yourself. When did you realize you wanted to push yourself further to maybe getting into maybe competition level? Because I did a little back history research. Sometimes I stalk the people that I interview, and I seen you did a couple different on-stage challenges, maybe other places.
Yeah, I did.
So
3.
when did you decide I'm gonna do this? What helped you get to that point?
Well, I see my buddy is in the chat and I have to give him some props. So when I started doing some of this spicy stuff, I didn't plan on making any videos. I just casually ate it like everyone else,
right?
That doesn't want any publicity from it. So I just casually ate it. And then I fell across this guy named Jeff Rimmer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started talking to him more and more and more. And then he's like, hey, you should start making some videos. And I was like, I don't know if I want to. Then I started making videos and then found out that there was a hot sauce expo 4 hours away. So I was just like, nice. Oh, crap. Here's my end to go to a hot sauce expo that's really close to me. And then I got in there. I wasn't going to do any challenges. Then some drunk guys talked me into it. And it started all over a cigarette. He wanted a cigarette, and then he started calling me out because I didn't want to do any competition. And they were just like, they weren't for anything. They were just to see if you could push yourself and try to finish it before everyone.
Sure.
So I did that about 3 times. They were all speed eating. Was fine. I was perfectly fine. And then my first push into eating peppers was Ed Curry calling me out for the Reaper eating contest.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He straight up called me out. I still don't know why to this day he called me out, but I think it's because I had a little bit of an interaction. I told him that I was from Michigan and that he was from Michigan.
Right.
And I wasn't going to go up there because no way I was going to go up there and eat Reapers, never eating one before. The closest I ate before was a habanero.
Right.
So I went up there, did the Reaper competition, and I ate 2 in a minute, which was actually pretty good for someone that's never done it.
Right.
And that sparked off my so-called competitive eating stage, I would say.
Nice. So your competitive eating thing, you going for the spicy stuff, or you going to try to do speed eating? Is there a goal for you to kind of reach at that point, or just kind
Um,
of see what comes along?
I would like to try to realistically, I want to try to keep pushing myself to go after Greg Foster's 22 Reapers in a minute.
Okay,
It's a hard record.
that's a lot.
It, it is a lot. I seen him eat 10 in a minute, just blew my mind away. And then I keep thinking to myself, like, I know I can handle spicy stuff, but it's the stomach
Yes.
and the speed, because when you start eating so much spicy stuff over and over, you start to slow down.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Saliva starts to build up and you don't know if you're actually swallowing it and stuff like that. And there's not really a specific goal, but I would like to keep pushing myself to go after 22 in a minute.
Okay.
And if I do happen to fall into an actual eating competition that isn't pepper wise, I might try it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I like it. I like the way you branch yourself out. I like the way you're willing to, not just stick to one kind of thing. One of my first people I ever really started following in the YouTube and the spicy world was Katie Prettyman. I'm sure, and she is Beyond Seattle Eats on YouTube, and she calls herself the world's okayest eater, competitive eater. So she kind of got into spicy foods as well as capacity and speed eating challenges, and I was like, man, she's got a big array of stuff
Right.
too. And just the way I've seen her push herself, it's really fun to watch people push themselves past the limit they never thought they could reach, no matter what level of competition it is.
Right. It's crazy.
And you kind of realize what your human body is even capable of. And I think that's pretty amazing in itself. So about that, I'm sure you've experienced cramps, cap cramps, what they call, or the gut bomb type of experience.
Oh yeah.
Can you give us your experience with that, and what challenge or sauce gave you your first experience with that? Or even if it wasn't a challenge, it could have been your first something spicy that really you didn't understand maybe what was going
on. That's a good one. I don't remember what was my first thing that gave me cramps. Maybe I would say the Reaper competition gave me my first like reality check with what it can be.
Yeah.
Because at that time I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. I just was like, screw it. I'm just going to try it.
Sure.
And if I fail, I'll just keep coming back for more. And so I've had, I would say the Reapers did my first good one on me where I was immobilized. And after that, I would say my first cramps that I was able to kind of manage myself would be the Death Nut 3.0 was my first League of Fire challenge.
Okay, I was going to get into that. That's cool though. Yeah, go ahead and touch on that. How was that experience for you with that?
Horrendous.
That's not an easy one to start off with.
No, I didn't know it was a 2-person game.
Yeah.
And at the time, I wasn't really filming videos, so I didn't know that I had to keep everything on camera per se.
Sure.
So I did the challenge. It took me 33 minutes.
Wow.
I finished it though. And then after that, I was good for about an hour. And then I got like a sharp pain. And I started to like cramp up, and I'm just like thinking to myself, oh my gosh. And I couldn't do anything. And I don't know. The cramps on that were they were sharp. And for first challenge cramps, I wouldn't do that for a first challenge. I would say for me to do a challenge first would probably be a chug. That's me
Right.
personally.
Yeah. Some people have their preferences. Like for me, I know a lot of people say the chocolate challenges really get them in the guts and stuff like that. But for me, they've been for the most part, most tolerable challenges as far as cramps go. And I don't know if I just prep better for those, or like the sauce fills in the cracks, or what happens for
I
me.
think the chocolate probably, I've heard the chocolate like pairs really good with the spicy and it kind of smooths it out.
Sometimes, but
It's not,
probably
yeah, sometimes. It's not like so harsh off the rip. It
yeah,
like sometimes eases into it depending on what it is.
yeah.
Because I did the raspberry rain.
I love that one.
Delicious. I don't
Yeah,
like raspberries, but I ate that and I loved it.
yeah,
And that was my first quantity challenge.
yeah.
And that was delicious. I'd do it again just to see if I could beat my time again. Took me 13 minutes.
So, what challenge would you say gave you the worst experience with cramps?
Um, this one.
That looks like the Killer Queen 2.0.
Yeah, this one. This one.
I have not attempted that one yet.
Well, if you do, I say prep better than I did.
Yeah.
Because
Well, like I said, I know what the Killer Queen 1 does for me, and it's kind of my so to speak nemesis, and I say that lightly because there is a nemesis bar out there.
that one's mine.
Yeah. So I haven't got to that experience yet, but definitely something. So my first experience with the cramps was I don't know if you know, the Blum Loco line was the Satan's Pleasure candy bar by Abba Blum from Blum Loco.
Sounds familiar.
It is a dark chocolate bar, and I think it was like 9 million. And I had never even knew about prep or anything with spicy, because my first 5 challenges I did 0 prep with and had 0 issues with.
I'm bad with that. No prep.
So that was the first challenge. I realized that there's more to this game than just eating it and then it goes away. No, there's also after effects, stuff that.
It's like a wave. Like it all, I've noticed, depending on what it is, and like I'm trying to build up my tolerance. My mouth tolerance is pretty good, but the stomach, everyone's like, oh, you got to build up your stomach tolerance. And I'm like, how? I'm doing challenges. I've drank bottles of tincture.
I was gonna say, I think that is the way you're gonna get a stomach. That's the only real way, in my opinion, that you're gonna help your stomach.
You think so?
On empty stomachs. I mean, that's the only way I think your guts will get used to that feeling. Because I think what it is not necessarily it's being able to tolerate the feeling. Not that it's gonna go away, but understanding what you're feeling. I don't know.
That would make sense. That would make sense. Because it wouldn't just like go away like that. You kind of gotta ride the wave, and like the Reaper teacher said, you kind of gotta find ways to soothe it.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
yeah, and I'm not good at that. I'm just like, hey, I'm in pain. I'm dealing with what I got going right now. Whatever else is going around me, I don't care.
Yeah. Jeff Remmert says he conditions his stomach with pickles, and I've never done that.
Bob Gilbert said pickle juice. That he says that helps with his cramps, and
I know the afterwards. Yeah, that and like pineapple juice and stuff.
Pineapple juice.
Yeah, pineapples and pineapple juice afterwards.
Is it because of the acidity or what?
I would assume, because I don't know.
I would do pineapple juice over pickle juice.
Yeah. So another question is, a lot of people want to know: are you the person that tries to ride it out and let it pass naturally, or do you try to get rid of it whenever your challenge is over, or just let the body do what it does?
I do. I just let the body do what it does. I force myself to do the challenge. I got to at least complete the burn time, because my objective is to do every single challenge and not fail any of them at least once. Never fail every challenge doing once.
Right.
And I just let my body ride it out. Like, if it has to come up, it is what it is. I'm not going to fight it. If I can keep it down, I'll keep it down. I'll do yoga.
I was gonna say, does yoga help?
It, so I was just talking to Annie about that yesterday, and I was telling her I did downwards doggy yoga,
Uh-huh.
and if you like, for me, if I bend over and touch my toes, it like cuts the cramps off.
Wow.
Try it sometime.
I was just gonna. That was my next that was my next question. Is what was your relief, or what do you turn to for the
So
cramps? Or
so it would be stretching. I would say yoga. It sounds really hilarious, but a yoga and a hot shower.
I actually believe that makes 100% sense, because if you think about like getting a cramp, stretching it out, working it out like that definitely helps. And then you think of the yoga mindset of relaxing your mind and your body. That
Yeah,
actually makes sense. And I'm sure nobody thinks of that when they're laying on their cold tile floor, if they have it, with
right.
their best friend with a wide mouth bowl sitting right next to them. So I
It is weird how it works. It's because I don't know if it like cuts, it like kinks off your stomach. If it kinks off your stomach and it like a kind of like a rubber band effect. It just
sure.
like shuts it off, and then but as soon as you stop doing it, it'll like slowly build back up.
Yes, for
So
sure.
it's so for me, instead of like if you can bend over and touch your toes, Midge, just get on the ground. And I would say if you can get in a fetal position and put your knees close to your stomach, because that also anything that like pushes everything center, it tends to help me.
See, and I do the opposite. I try to lay out as flat and smooth as possible. I don't
That
even think about doing that. You know what I mean?
that
And
makes
I'm
it
like, I
worse
just
for
want to lay
me.
calm and let the cramp pass. And I'm like sweating. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
oh, what am I going to do next? I don't know how.
What now? Let me have a. I got a question for you. What's the worst challenge you've done?
All right. So, well, that's, yeah. Okay. As far as cramps go, I would say the Killer Queen. I did two of them back to back when Goot did his Goot 7 Days of Hell about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now. 2 years ago now. Um, I would say that was my worst one because it was two sets of 4 hour waves. Like it was 4 hours and I calmed down. About an hour later was another 4 hours of laying on the floor, no clothes on. I'm telling you, I get all the way down. But there was actually a challenge that was done inside one of the groups that actually ended up getting stopped right after I did it, because the old cinnamon challenge, the tablespoon of cinnamon,
Oh yeah,
how dangerous that actually is.
yeah.
Well, somebody did a tablespoon of tincture of powder, tablespoon of powder challenge for a powder necklace that's hanging up right behind me.
Oh yeah.
All right. And I did it, and I did it on an empty stomach. Didn't think anything of it. And I
Oh,
took this thing and it caked in my mouth, and I'm going and going, and I'm like, okay, I got through it. About an hour and a half later, the mouth burn would not go away because it's stuck in my teeth.
yeah.
I brushed my teeth because I brushed my teeth 4 times with 3 different brand new toothbrushes. I had cramps. I did this at like 9 o'clock in the morning, my time. I couldn't even go to work at midnight that night because the cramps were still there.
Wow, just from powder.
Just from that amount of powder and not having anything else. And I tried to eat after it. I just came right back up. I couldn't get it out of my system. It was nuts for me. But as far as difficulty and challenges, I have attempted the peanut brutal 3 times and not had any success with it.
Oh, I've seen that. That's the one from Blazing Foods
Yeah, I've attempted that one 3 times
and failed
and
all three.
failed all 3 of them.
Is it that hot?
For me, it was probably the first challenge I ever failed, and it just mentally, I guess, gets to me. It's kind of like knowing when the cramps are going to come. It almost makes me mentally not push past it for the challenge. And I think
Okay.
that I have a mental tolerance more than an actual heat tolerance. And once I realize that my stomach feels it kind of pushes me mentally over the edge. Yeah.
I'm a masochist, as Annie says.
Yeah.
I'm just like in it for the pain sometimes.
Yeah. And Midge, he does these challenges and gets like no cramps with the.
Yeah, I don't know, but yet Midge still owes me a second V5 chug.
Yeah. But
Oh, peanut
I don't
butter.
know. Him and I are supposed to do the Killer Queen coming up. I think we're gonna try to push to do that under like
The
Jim.
second one or the first
The
one?
first one. We have 5 of them to do
Okay.
together, and we've made a vow to each other, so to speak, that we're not going to do them without each other. And I've been kind of slacking, and then when I'm ready, he's not. It's just a mess.
You guys are going to be calling each other on the phone after.
I don't know about that. I probably won't be coherent for the next 2 days after that. I like this. Sinocchio. That's a good one. Is that something you've ever heard before?
Yeah, she calls me that because of my my mask right here. And she honestly, she just started calling me it. She
like
just finds like these funny names for people.
Yes. And
37, man, that would be
her
bad.
uniqueness, and that's what she brings to the table. She's a really great person for a push too. She's a great motivator. She'll cheer you on.
Oh yeah.
Else.
She says she's dedicated herself to helping me.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but she says she will.
That's when I've realized this community is about, there is a competitive nature to it, but there's also I want to bring everybody else up with me, kind of.
That's also what I'm trying to do in this community is I'm trying to put myself out there, but I'm also trying to like bring people in my everyday life into the community to show them that, hey, there is a lot of people that eat spicy stuff and you just really don't know about it.
Yes.
Because it's just not your thing.
The whole online and making people available and stuff, the COVID years have really helped a lot of this community grow.
This is a Slipknot mask, Paul.
Yes. Speaking of Paul Oro, him and Matt and Jeff and everybody else associated with the League of Fire itself, which I'm going to get into that with you here shortly. The League of Fire, they've done an amazing job expanding the community and bringing us all together at a point of friendly competition and stuff like that. So you've done a handful of League of Fire challenges, yes?
Yep.
Yeah. Which one? I guess the peanuts were probably your first. You said you were first, but has any of them given you so bad you would never do them again? Or would regret doing it even though because you know what you're going to go through?
It'd probably be that Killer Queen. As of right now, it's just the Killer Queen. And I did the slammer on top of the Raspberry Rain, and I didn't feel that slammer.
And I've heard that the slammer is. I have a couple of them too, but I haven't done that one yet either. That it,
really?
Even though it's hot, doesn't feel as bad afterwards. I don't know.
That from what I've heard, granted, I stacked on top of it.
Right.
When I tried it casually sipping it, it gave me cold chills because I knew there was extract in there.
Yeah.
But when I ate it with something else, it was like non-existent. And it wasn't that bad in my stomach. Granted, the chocolate bar came up.
Right.
It was a lot of chocolate. I'm not big into like eating like mass amount. I'll do speed and what's here right in front of me. But if it's a lot, I'll start to go fast and then I'll slow down.
Yeah. So speaking of which, during my interviews, the record for challenges during my interviews is held by Jeff, of course. He did 3 Scoville Slammers and as a challenge during or after, I guess. Well, during the interview, so to speak. It wasn't like separate. It was during the interview.
Really?
Yeah. So he put that out in the challenge group because I'm going to be actually what's really cool. And I hope you guys join me coming up. I'm going to be attempting to interview all of the contestants for the San Diego belt match, as well as the road to the belt match.
Okay, nice.
So,
like I said to other people, I really wish I could have been there because I'm so butthurt that I'm not able to.
It's not over. You know what I mean? Just because you can't make one doesn't mean you can't make it eventually. You'll get.
That's true. It's just one of those things. I'm so passionate about it that I want to meet so many of these people, and I know that
Sure.
I'm that kind of person that's like, I'll sit in the background and then people will approach me before I approach them.
Well, I just recommend you keep doing what you do. You'll get noticed. You'll get the chance. Maybe somebody will pick up a sponsor as a sponsor, for you.
That's what I want to do eventually.
You never know. You never know. But just keep doing what you do. Keep pushing yourself, and you'll get noticed. You get noticed. You know what I mean? You're around. You're not just somebody, that sits. Hell, I haven't done a challenge really in almost a year. Not like where I'm pushing myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I'm going to get back into it, hopefully, I think.
Hey, one of these times we can get in on it and do one together.
Absolutely. I got this whole shelf is League of Fire challenges.
I got 2 1 chips. I got the OG cap gun. I got the Killer Queens are going to wait. Yeah. I still got that Rummy Bear that you gave me.
Oh yeah, that's a rough one.
And I got 3 V4s and a V5.
I got quite a few of the chugs as well, but that would be awesome. So, where can we see more of you? I know you said you don't really film much, but if you do, where can we find more of you in the future?
So you can find me on Facebook, the people that have me on Facebook, but you can find me on my TikTok on it's Sunny the Beast Spicer, or my Instagram, which is the same, or my YouTube.
Great.
That's where I'm gonna gradually start. That's where I'm gonna do most of my big videos.
Sure.
Because I'm venturing out. I do multiple stuff, so I'm not tied down to one specific spot.
Right.
And honestly, all the feedback and everything, I love it.
Yes. And he is from Michigan, Midge and Paul.
Yeah, Midge.
He's
from
Michigan.
Cali.
It's almost like Canada, but not.
Well, talking about Canada. I'm gonna look into getting my passport soon, and then I want to try to make it over there to eventually to heating up the capital and meet Shane and Aaron and all them guys.
Yeah, that'd be a good.
Because I want to get with Mike and actually have him show me some stuff.
Right.
Because he gave me some pointers on what he does to Speedy, and I tried some of them, but it's it's rough.
Yes.
It's not an easy thing to just Speedy, because I've noticed that a lot of people in the community, they'll eat spicy stuff, but they don't want to be timed and don't want to be shoving things in their face.
Sure, that definitely changes the game. I mean, like you said, some people, if you can eat spicy stuff over a period of time, you know, then it might be a little different. And like I said, for me, it's less of a heat tolerance than a mental thing for me anymore. I don't know. I got to get myself back into it. I've fallen off, and I kind of miss it.
For me, people say it's a mental thing more than it is physical. I say it's more physical for me, because no matter if I eat a lot, I still get cramps, of course, but it's like my body hates me. It's just it's going to go through it. Oh, Ruthie Booth.
Yep.
And my body will just hate me for it and just be like, go for it. And my mouth tolerance isn't that bad. I consider myself, people laugh when I say this, I consider myself an amateur.
Sure.
And because I see what all these other people do, and I'm like, you guys are crazier than me. And people tell me I'm crazy, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Hey, I like it. I like watching people grow in this community and push. And that's kind of why I started doing these, was obviously to promote me as a channel, but to
Yeah.
not be selfish about it and help promote other people that may not be as well known. And I'm not saying I'm all that well known, but
100%.
but I want to help expose us as a community to the world and get to know us on a personal level, so we're not just some random, oh, I'll never reach them. No, we're just normal people trying to
Yeah.
do crazy things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say normal. There's definitely a different clique of people that that kind
Well,
of
people have asked me that I must have got hurt when I was a child.
yeah. Well, this is the opportunity that I give you to kind of give what I call a shameless plug. You can promote yourself. Anybody else, we kind of did that already. Maybe give us a little wrap up of you and where we hope to see you doing challenges, or what your goal is here coming up.
So, my goal coming up is I'm planning on being in Illinois to do the Reaper eating contest, and I'm trying to get. Hopefully, I can meet up with Miguel Torres and Heisenberg, Jeremy, and meet up with them. And Jeremy is gonna hopefully give me some moral support at the Reaper eating contest, and then I'm gonna try to make it to hopefully a future League of Fire. But I want to give a shout out to a few people that have helped me, and that's Annie. She's helped me by giving me feedback. Jeff Rimmer, he's been a great help, and Bob, and of course Beth and Chris for bringing me on their channel and allowing me to do challenges.
Great names, great people in the community. I love every one of those people you mentioned as well. It's awesome to get to know people on a what I call semi-personal level, because I haven't met all of them, and I would love to get that opportunity. One of the coolest things I did was I made it a point to fly to Texas to visit Goot. He was my spicy man crush in this community.
Really?
I instantly felt an attachment to him, and I don't know what it is, but I don't know. Maybe he trapped me in his beard or something, but I'm stuck with him.
That's how I feel about Atomic Menace and Johnny Scoville. I would like to meet those guys.
Yeah.
I would love.
And they are really, really down to earth people. They're not any more famous than what they put out. You know,
he's just a
really
robot.
cool people to talk to.
Dustin's just a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just playing with the Rubik's Cube.
Yes. But I greatly appreciate your time. Is there anything else you would like to ask or touch on before we wrap up?
Not much. I hope. Not hope. I'll just be doing more videos now since it's going to be getting a little warmer. I should be putting more videos out and stuff for at work, and then buckling down on some of these challenges and getting them out of the way so I can replenish some. Awesome. And then hopefully get a sponsor eventually. Don't know who or what, but the hope's there.
Yes, absolutely. Hey, you never know. Like I said, keep doing what you do, keep pushing yourself, and you'll get where you want to be. I promise. You'll make a way to make things happen. And
100%.
You know what I mean? So It was awesome getting this opportunity to interview and sit down with you.
For sure.
Very informative. It was awesome to sit here and chat with you and get to know you a little better than just through a text message here and there. This is really cool. Yeah. I love this format, and I love doing this. So
I love it too. It's great.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Stay crazy, my friends.
Yeah, you too.
All right. There you have it, everyone. Interview with Sonny Spicer, the Beast. He, like I said, I consider him the up-and-comer here. He definitely is growing in the community and wants to put himself out there as a very kind-hearted and helpful person. And as you see, you know, he's willing to make the efforts, you know, so let's show him some love in the future and make sure when he gets his YouTube, if he has it up and running, we give him some love. And as always, I'm Crazy Jay, and I like to do things the crazy way. I hope to see you again very soon, and I hope to get back into challenges with you. But please stay tuned. because we have some very exciting interviews coming up in the future. But I don't want to take this interview time away from Sonny. This was his time, and we love him. We got to know him a little better. Please feel free to reach out. He's a wonderful guy. I appreciate your time. Again, stay crazy, my friends.